Man, I'm gonna get them on Tuesday. You can text and all that. I'm gonna get them all on Tuesday. Right, so tonight we're gonna talk about comic book roles and how different roles have made the comic book. Do you have a favorite Marvel movie? Oh, I didn't even think about Ashley. I did see that she had the Instagram name down. I was I'm pretty sure you saw at the end of the day I was teaching her a little bit. I got a few pictures that I'm going to show you guys. So I'm not used to presenting on Instagram Live, so I'm learning as I go. All right, 7:15. All right, Azrael, so it's a one-on-one session, so you're lucky. All right, so comic book roles. So in the comic book industry, usually comic books are made by at least a team of 5 people. Now, if you count the publisher and the marketing team, then 7. So that's why I said that there's 7 steps to create a comic. From the Instagram posts, you saw that the first step is making concept. So the concept is basically coming up with the idea for your comic book. The concept for Batman is he uses a bat to scare the villains, and that's why he chose the symbol of a bat for his costume. Hey, Calissa. So that's the concept. The concept behind Captain America is a soldier who is the epitome of being the perfect human, right? So after we have our concept, our idea for our comic, the first thing we need to do is, hey, John. So the first thing, so John and Calissa, I was just telling Azrael, one of the first things that you have to do when you're making a comic is you need to come up with the concept. And when you do the concept, it's basically coming up with the idea behind the comic book. So once you have the idea, and it could be like for my comic book that I'm making now, Black Cats, so that you guys can have something to read. The idea behind that was Black Panther meets Thundercats. And, so now is my story going to be like Thundercats? No. Is it going to be like Black Panther? No. But those are the 2 ideas that I use to make my concept. After you have your concept, which is step 1, you move on to step 2, which is writing your script. Now, the way you can write your script however you want, but if you want it to get accepted by a company like Marvel or DC or Image Comics, it needs to be formatted a certain way. So this is how the format goes for the most part. So you'll see as you read that you have panels, which we'll discuss at a later date. But this script tells the artist what to draw and how to draw it. And then the dialogue where you see Sonic, and he goes, yeah, by the way, we're running so fast. That is the dialogue. And that is something that the letter, which we'll learn later, will take and put into the verbalins. So this is the script for a Sonic comic. And I'm trying to. So I'll let you guys take some time to look at it. The script is also important because even for the colorists, the person who colors the comic book, they'll be able to tell like if it's nighttime or daytime from the script. Otherwise, they're going to have to guess. Right, so that's how a script looks, and that's what the script does. So now we'll move on to step number 3, which is the penciler. And the penciler is the main artist of the comic, and they draw the pictures, obviously. The penciler is most likely going to be the one who's most famous for making a comic book. That's just what it is. Comic books are a visual medium, and people are 9 times out of 10 going to come to your comic book because of how it looks. So the penciler plays probably the biggest role behind the writer. Step number 4, I won't say step number 4. Now, in addition to the penciler, you have another artist called the inker. And the inker goes and traces the penciler's minds, and they add depth to the comic book. So here is an example of pencils and inks from another Sonic comic. So you'll see that it's in black and white, and this is how it needs to look before it goes to the colors. And on this particular page, we have 3 panels. This just means 3 pictures. And again, we'll go over that next week. So now, step 4. So step 1 was concept, step 2 was writing, step 3 is, we'll just say drawing, this is the pencils and the inks. Step 4 is coloring your comic. Now, this is another job that somebody else does, and they usually don't have as much time as the writer to write. They also don't have as much time as the artist to draw. So the colorists, they go in and they color the comic. Now, they have to be careful to make sure that they don't miscolor characters. They have to make sure that the coloring doesn't take away from the art. Do I do all the parts? No. So for my first comic, Favorite Volcano, the first 4 pages was I did the writing, and then I had an artist who did the pencils, the inks, the colors, and then I had another person who did the lettering. This we'll talk about pretty soon. For my second comic, and right now I have an artist who does all of it. He does the pencils, the inks, the coloring, and the lettering. For my second comic book, Angel Protocol, I have it's me as the writer, but I'm going to also do the lettering. I have an artist who's going to do the coloring, and then I have an artist who does the pencils and inks. And then for Black Cats, which I'm writing for you guys, I have an artist who's going to do he's going to do everything too. He's going to do the pencils, the inks, the coloring, but I'm going to do the lettering. And like I said, we'll discuss what that is. Okay, good question. So going back to the colors. So the colorist has to make sure that they don't take away from the actual art. So it's very important that they choose the right colors and that they go by the character design. This is something that you do in the concept stage. So we all seen colored comics before. I don't have an example of that, but you guys have seen my work in the classroom stuff. Step 5 after coloring is lettering. And lettering is when we take the dialogue from the script and you put it into word balloons and put it into the comic book. So that is called lettering. And that's the other job that I do for not just my books, but for my clients as well. So, what's that? How do you hire people to do other things like the writing? Me, I use Fiverr.com to find my artists. I also use another website called Upwork. There's also, so you can find people on there um, that will do your comic for like $20, $30. I'm on Fiverr, and I forget how much I charge. I know that sounds bad. Um, my prices are like around $40 per page. So you can use Fiverr.com or you can use Upwork.com. And then there's also different studios that you can use as well. But you better come to me first if you want to do comic book writing. Okay. So moving on to step 5, this is lettering. Again, that's another example of, this is in black and white. You can see that all the dialogue, when the character speaks, that's what we call dialogue, and that is in the verb balloons. And so the cool thing about the letter is they can choose how the verb balloons look, and you want to make them dynamic, but just like colorists, you want to make sure that the lettering doesn't take away from the comic book art. So it's a position that you're not going to get famous for, but it's a position that is still important to making the comic book look good. All right. So after we do the lettering, right? So you have your concept, which is your idea. You have your writing. You have your drawing. You have your coloring and your lettering. You essentially have a finished comic book. But after you have a finished comic book, you got to go to step 6, which is publishing your comic. So, because what's good is making a comic if you're not going to publish it. Now, there's different ways that you can publish it. And one of those ways is you can do it by yourself digitally. So, and that's why I make digital comics. I'm on a site called Webtoons. I also have my Patreon site, and then I have my own website. And that's where people can see my comic, read the comic, buy the actual comic. I also have my comic on Lulu.com. Now, Lulu.com will allow people to buy my comic, and they actually get a physical version of the comic, and that's how I make my sales. So there's different ways you can go. You can go traditional, which is the physical printing of your comic book, or you can do digital printings of your comic book. So, and one of the advantages of joining the Patreon group, this is $40 a month, is that I will help you learn how to use those websites. I will also help you with your marketing aspect of it all. So that is step 6. This is publishing your comic. And that takes us to the 7th step. So now you publish your comic. And you got your comic. But now you need to tell people about it. And that's what marketing is. Marketing is letting people know, hey, here's my comic book, and this is where you can find it. So one of the ways that I market my comic book, for example, is I use Instagram. I have an Instagram account for my business account where everybody can learn about all my comic books. But I also have individual Instagram accounts for each comic book. So I have an Instagram account for Favor of Athena. I have an Instagram account. Hey, actually, you're late. I have an Instagram account for Angel Protocol, and I have an Instagram account for Black Cats. And obviously, I have an Instagram account for helping kids make their comics. It's okay, Ashley, I'm just joking with you. So, Ashley, just a quick review. Step 1 is making a concept, and that's basically coming up with an idea for your comic. And then step two is writing, and that's when you make a script, and that's what I had showed you earlier. So this is an example of a script from Sonic the Hedgehog. It tells the artist how to draw, where to draw, and what to draw. It also helps the colorist know what to color and helps the letterer know what to put into the workings. After writing your script, step three is drawing. Now, drawing is typically done by two people. There's the penciler who does everything with pencils, and then the inker who goes in and traces the lines and add depth to the page. So here's an example of ink comic book page from another Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Oh, thank you for jumping. And then we have step four, which is coloring your comic. And that's another job for somebody to take away from the comic book, right? So then from step four, we move on to step five, which is lettering. This is something else that I do. And lettering is just taking the dialogue, which is how the character speaks, and putting it into word balloons. Yes, that's a job that somebody else does. So those are four different jobs. Because usually the concept is usually the writer or the artist, right? And then step six, we talk about publishing, where you can publish physically. You can go to like a printing press, like Minuteman Press, which is they got stores everywhere. They can print the physical version of your comic book, or you can print your comic book digitally. This is what I do, and that's where most of my customers come from. And there's websites like Lulu.com that will allow people to buy your comic book and be sent a physical version, or you can print it. Webtoons, which is what I'm on, where people can read it. They read it for free, but if you get enough people, you get paid for the advertisements. So those are the six steps, and then we're going to move on to step seven, which is marketing. This is us telling people, hey, my comic book exists, and I was sharing with everybody that I have different Instagram accounts for each project that I work on. So that way, if somebody likes Favor of Athena, but they don't like any protocols, they can just be a fan of the Favor of Athena Instagram. Or they can join my main business Instagram account so that they can get information about all my comic books and all my novels and all my video game stuff. Okay. So you want to make sure you want to make sure that you market your comic book, because that's how you find your audience. That's how your audience goes, hey, look at this comic book by John. Hey, look at this comic book by Ashley. Hey, look at this comic book by Ashley. And it allows people to go to whatever website that you want them to go to buy your product. You know, at the end of the day, you're doing this for fun, but you're also trying to make money. And when you join the online course, that's why we'll be teaching you how to make money, how to market your book, where to go to get help to market your comic book, where to go to get better at drawing, where to go to get better at writing. Because I can do all those things, right? I know how to come up with ideas. I know how to write. I know how to draw. I know how to ink. I know how to color. Um, and these are all skills that I'm going to help you guys get better with. And I know how to letter. And I know which publishers to go to, and I know how to market my book. You know, that's how I have clients and everything. So that's it, man. That's those are the 7 steps to making a comic book. And like I said, if you guys are able to join the online group, we can go more in depth and actually practice putting a comic book together. So like one of the things I'm going to be doing next week for everybody who pays and becomes a member is that we're going to spend that whole week coming up with the concept for our comic books. By the end, you're going to have a Bible for your comic book idea that's going to tell us what the setting is, what the stories are, who are the characters and what the theme is. And it's important to have that, especially if you're trying to get Marvel or DC or Image Comics to pick up your comic book and make a movie out of it. So it's very important to have that concept down. So and that's where we'll do our character designs, our saying designs, and you're going to be learning project management skills as well. Do we take pictures of our comic to post it on the publisher website? If you're talking about like you made your comic book today, if you're talking about if you're gonna take that and take pictures, no, you don't want to do that. You want your comic book to look better than what it is right now, and that's what I'm going to help you with. You had a very awesome cover today, though. You definitely off to a good start. So I'm going to help you, like, even if you're not good at drawing, you know, we can work on your writing. If you're not good at writing, we can work on lettering. There's so many avenues that you can do to make your own comic book. You don't, one of the things, like I told you guys before, I don't draw my comics anymore. I pay people to draw the comics, do the coloring. I do the writing and do the lettering. My main job now is I do project management, which means I make sure everybody's doing their job to make my comic book. I even have somebody who does the marketing for me now. So, like I said, that's all the stuff that I'm going to be teaching in the online course. So, and the online course will be Google Classroom because that's what we're all familiar with. And it allows me to do more sharing, and I will be coaching you guys as you make your comments. So we're going to start with step one, which is the concept. All right, so this was fun. I'm glad you guys turned out. I'm going to be honest, I didn't think any of you got through. So I figured John would, because John joined yesterday. So I'm very happy to see you, Ashley. Azrael, happy to see you. John, I'm happy to see you. Calissa, thank you for joining. All right. Does anybody have, we'll take the time to take a few questions. Do you have questions about the online course? If you're with your parents, do your parents have any questions about the $40 a month so that I can explain it? Here. Do you have any questions? All right, see you, Azrael. Again, thank you for coming. So, well, I'll open the floor for questions. All right, bye, Ashley. So, Mom, are you oh, okay, on two different devices. I was gonna say, oh, so Mom, are you the one to ask the question? Go ahead, John, ask your question. It's okay. I can't type either. Well, no, that's why I was a computer teacher. I can type. So the online course will start in June, so that I have time to put the materials together for week one. Oh, I'm not doing the Sonic comic. I was just using those as examples to listen. So yeah, so the online course will start next month. And another benefit to the course is, again, we're not just going to be learning how to make comic books. We're going to learn project management skills and foundational. Hi, Christy. We're also going to learn foundational graphic design skills so that you can get a job in the corporate setting or in the entrepreneur setting. So yes, I will keep you updated. All right. Are there Any more? Yeah, I'll see you next Friday. Any more questions? And let's see, you get a 2-for-1 deal. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I know you get support. Everybody's leaving that now. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I look forward to doing this next Friday. Next Friday, our topic will be comic book terms. Yes, we'll be live every Friday at 7. All right. See you, John. Thank you guys for your support, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday. And I look forward to those of you who do join the course. Again, it starts in June. All right. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you then.